everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at dinos once again, but we're going to be playing accelerated dinos, where we are focusing on playing ramp cards like Glimpse the Core and Topiary Stomper to get to our top end, instead of being more on the fight rigging plan like I have been in the past and that you might see in other decks. And we're also using some nice cards in here as well as stacking up on the Dracosaur with the Carnosaur and the Holly to play along with all of our ramp as our top end effects. Outside of that, we're just going to hop into the games. I hope you all enjoy, and if you do, please be sure to subscribe, as I truly appreciate it. And let's just get out there. All right, we go first. I mean, we got a lot of 3-drops. They all tend to be good, so I think we can risk it here. We have a way to gain some life back. Needed a little bit later. We just need to hit one land drop or a ramp spell. Won't mind, I guess. Why is Arena so whack right now? I hate this. I hate it so much. That's my Arena client itself just bugging right now. We get hit down. Take a little bit of life total off of us here. Could play the Stomper, but Stomper can't block, and you could argue maybe holding this up for maybe a Godric here, but they have to play a Godric, so we're gonna play a Hammer Skull here. Have it block Swiss Spear. Then we can use Frill back to come in, maybe gain life, or have it blow up an enchantment. No Godric, that's a good sign. Could be a Monster Shriek, a Lightning Strike. Just a Phoenix Chick attack is about everything we'd ever want. Tells us their hand's weak. Now, we have multiple options, I think, to play this. We could gain 4 life, but we can also do something else that's really cool. Or do we wait and just play Stomper and Ramp and then activate 2 modes? I think that's also a bad idea. What if we play a creature that'll give us mana guaranteed, and then we can activate 2 modes of this, and we hold back, and this has ward, so it's going to be hard for them to remove. What if we do that? I like that idea. 2/2 Phoenix Chick, sure. Feldon, also fine. I'm even attacking with Feldon. That seems a little loose for me. A loose goose, even, if you would. Let us tap for colorless and colorless here. Play this because we're going to want to pump our green into this at least twice. Okay. And don't need to exile the graveyard because the graveyard currently doesn't matter. Decline there. We want to destroy target artifact or enchantment and gain 4 life. And we can just blow the one up that's currently out of play. Doesn't really matter. Now we just no attack again. They've been afraid to get in so far, so let's keep them that way. I think if I attack with the Hammer Skull, that's also good. Maybe now we'll see them get aggressive. No, I mean, this is 5 in the air. Here comes Feldon. I want to be able to block and have my creature not die, but most likely they'll find an answer to this on this play here. I guess it's just like let this go. Give them minimal looks. Mountain, play with fire, mechanized warfare. It's gonna be a play with fire. Shoot me down to 7 for mechanized warfare. They get it till end of next turn. Oh boy. Dinosaur. Oh, wow. Yep. Seems fantastic. Alright. Take out your flyers. Through my wall. Having a ton to block. We have this to block. Technically, we kind of need to end at some point. So I'll attack with this guy. Come down to 14. Organized warfare, sure. This really ups enough to trade with the Tolly. They hold back once again. Make the mana. Could cascade here, but we can also threaten lethal. 7 was trample. They block here. How much they take? They take 12. Ugh. Then we play blockers back. I don't want to target the Swift Spear in case this is an instant speed spell, because then this doesn't kill it. So we'll take out Kamano. We'll move to combat. It's an attack out situation in which they have to block the Swift Spear anyway. Block the thing that gives me mana. That makes sense. Down the one they go. 2, 3. Just play a 6/6, I guess. I thought about playing the Stomper to ensure I have the mana in case I draw like an Atali or something. But I feel if I don't win this turn, I'm never winning this game. Because I don't know what they play. They would have to just like kill me. Oh, what could have killed me? Godric Kamano just enough. If they play Godric, they play Kamano. Godric will flip up to a 4. They'll have 2 mana. Kamano would have pinged me for 3. Godric would be at 4. Plus a pump. Go to 5. Would hit me for 7. Kamano Godric exactly would kill me. Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about at 10. Heck no. All right, we got like a cool hand here. We got ramp into ramp, and then kind of we'll set the hammer skull in. Obviously, setting this in might be a little bit better if they're super aggressive, but I'd like to kind of ramp if we have an Atali on the top end here in our hand. Especially if we start drawing cards. Or, ooh, I meant drawing top end cards, I'd like to ramp. Or if we start drawing into lands. We get to ramp here, search for a basic forest. We put that into play. And we got a little bit bigger. We can play the frilled back here. Got to make sure our red gets tapped, however. But a little part of me just says playing this guy is really cool. And then maybe playing this activating 2 modes next turn is a little bit better. I know. I would like to play the Stomper whenever I actually have enough lands, or it gives me the enough lands to put it in play. I don't really care too much to block the Felden here. I'll take the trade. I'll let them look as many cards as they want. I'd much rather not get hit for this 6 damage. My opinion. Especially when I have the frill back coming in to exile this. They get one of these cards and I save 6 damage. Will do, Captain. Will do. I just have to remember, can this activate abilities? Because a lot of the new ones can. Finish mana only to cast creature spells. It shows the type of spell can't be cast. Okay, so we need for this to be a green, red, green. Let's play frilled back here. Yes, and then yes. We will gain 4, blow up an enchantment. We're going to take this one away so they can't put a free counter on a creature. Obviously, it's not a creature in play threatening right now, but if they make a creature a 3/3, that's a free trade into our frill back if we want to block it. Right now, they have to invest in maybe a lightning strike. Shivan Devastator is kind of annoying. It's the only thing it attacks. Okay, so Stomper gets to come in and be online here, and then we have an Atali for next turn. It has Vigilance, so it'll be a good, solid attacker here. We'll just grab another force. We're mainly a green deck. We just hold the line. If they're only attacking with Devastator, we have a couple of hits that can get us to the point that we can answer it. We have a total of that one. That's a hit. We play Raptor. It's uncounterable. We move to combat. We attack with our Vigilant Sky. See if they have any plan to protect, arm, do some crazy stuff maybe. Wait. I guess letting them have another card is probably a bad idea. And there comes a Felden. If it's an attack out, we can see like a whack block here. We'll block with this because Monstrous Rage does not actually grow that out of protection. But we might bait it out enough for them to try and save it. Try to pop this. I do think if they had a Monstrous Rage that we might have saw them commit earlier, because that would be a lot more damage that they got throughout the game. So I was kind of okay with letting that go. Charming Scoundrel, Twist. If I take a Tolly, if I play a Tolly, will that be fine? Untaps, so I have to be very careful about what I do here. So I'm not going to play a Tolly, obviously. Might as well pay all 3 of this. We blow up this enchantment. We target this player for graveyard, and we gain 4 life. Reason in this case, like a squee is possible, of course. Most likely they're going to take our Stomper, I would imagine. We do have 3 mana still. We do kind of have to be careful. Yeah, why not? Attack like this. They try to take this, it takes their entire turn. Next check. This is no longer possible unless they have a land drop. I would assume Topiary Stomper is probably where they're going to go. Then frill back and just jump in front of a Swift Spear. Then they need another spell. I'll just let the Topiary Stomper hit. One can't block. It took the Pierre Stomper and they don't have the land, so it can't attack. I didn't even think of that. What an outcome. Nice card, Goober. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like that. Very nice. All right, putting this first, we have ramp, we have removal. Then we have this on turn 3, and if we hit land, we have this on turn 5. Uh-huh. Ooh. Ooh. Well, we know what to do, team. Get that thing out of here. Esper Legends, I hate you. I hate you. Is that Esper? You just played 2 caves. Or another Skrull. Sure. Not that necessarily complaining much about it. Search for a basic force here. We'll grab one. We are a big monster deck here. It just does kind of suck when they play a Rafine or something here. Dennick. Dennick's fine. You know what we want to do here. You, however, need another untapped source. And we're having all the fun. Unless they, of course, can remove this for 1 mana. Not sure what that would be. Ward is 2. Or Void Rent. Void Rent can just remove it straight up, because that can't be countered. Now they can go for the 30 if they'd like. Do nothing. Do not have an untapped source. We make 2 mana, however. Say the least. Not bad. Not bad. Play Coverline. We can't target their graveyard, but we can target them. Let's fire this off and ramp, then wait to remove the Skrull on their turn. I like that plan. Or I could just jam it, but I feel like they have Make the Sphere. Just 4 mana, do nothing in their primarily 3 to 4 drop deck. Seems a little bit suspicious to me. Yeah, let's just play this and then pay none into it, I think, and then just hold up the Carnosaur. We're just short that they could technically make disappear this. If they do, and then we will try to sort the Skrelv or the other thing. Oh, it's artifact or enchantment. Never mind. I'm killing Skrelv right now. I'm stupid. I thought it was just enchantment. Bye. Oh, boy. Can you tell it's my first time playing with this card? No? Well, it is. Yeah, so we ramp a little bit more. So now, if we top deck and untap Source and Tully, still fine. Worst case scenario, we play Carnosaur. I really don't care to attack here. I want to make if they play a Rafine and try to attack, that it's very awkward for them. Or a situation like this where they spend their whole turn anyway. 3 cards to R2, but R2 are very, very awkward and cool. Blame it, I think. Or do we just remove this? Or do we just bring this up and attack? It's not an artifact, so go for the throat and kill it. I think we just go back to back. Slamming big threat after big threat. Sure, they might make disappear this or this guy. Pretty much the same thing. We'll draw a card though, which maybe not the best case for them because do be a big dumb Dino deck. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Double attack here. What are you targeting? Fennec? Draws. They only have black and a white available now because they used all their blue. I want less attackers in play, I think. Alright, my turn. I have a mana? No. I'll play this one. Alright, so we take the go for the threat off the top of their library, which would have been very effective in removing any of our threats here. That's also effective. I mean, they have to take out or fly. I understand this draws me 3 cards a turn, right? Like, I understand one's really bad and you're going to have to block probably. But one does indeed draw us 3 cards a turn. So I'm going to play this. And I'm going to play this. I'm going to ramp. I'm going to be a mad lad about it. To be honest, I probably just hold this back. I think. A little part. Well, they're in top deck mode. If they attack with Rafine, like, they're probably dying. I'm attacking. I'm going to get aggressive here. Okay, we have 2 man lands we can bring up, I believe. 4 there, plus land here. Yeah, so we have 2 man lands we can bring back. Plus, if they don't have a way to remove this again, which they have to attack, as you can see. Try to find the go for the throat. Didn't auto tap, by the way, to ensure that maybe they would have the white mana available still. Just because of how these work. But they're also bottlenecked on blue, so they didn't really have a choice. They don't have a way to remove this, so we're going to draw 3 more cards. Yeah, it's just not feasible to keep up with. Opponent goes first. We have a very solid kind of ramp strategy here in terms of playing Lore Keeper in the Stomper. Mono red. I've played mono red so much today that it's just like painful at this point. These forests are going to be probably the death of us if we lose our Lore Keeper. Which, if we lose our Lore Keeper on this hand, we're probably dead anyway, to be honest with you. Get hit. Call it a day. If we don't lose it, we draw a Gorge, which, like, obviously I would like to find some answers here. But I'm definitely going to play the Stomper, ramp, go get a forest here. And then next turn we can play land, play Raptor, also chomp something. And then get closer to getting our Stomper online. We'll take a solid 4 here. Maybe a lot more? No monster trade. Well, a little part of me says get the mana guy down first. It wants me to kind of hold up the blocker, the auto tapper. But I do not. Fire not enough to remove this. It's going to be a hard remove. And we have a 4/4 is also a hard remove. So let's get this flyer out of the air. Force him to travel on the ground through our encampment of dinos. Welcome to Jurassic Park. How may I help you? You can lightning strike it now. They do. They understand the value that the mana that provides. They do not want to get hit with Natali. They hit for 2. Also, it's our only blocker, I guess, so understandable. We can continue the path forward. A big dumpster dino. We have no reason to attack this lore keeper, I think. Just don't make it a target. I guess keeping it untapped makes it more of a target. We could roll token. Yes. So we actually don't have to threat from a monster trades here. You'll see why if they use it. Because this will actually fall off. So the +3 that it would get would actually only be 5 because the Wicked Roll token falls off. And I think they just realized that. And I think that's the play that we were seeing. Because I've done it by accident in the past where I'm like, okay, I have a way to get it to that big. I just need to put 2 of these type of auras on it. And a Wicked Roll, give it +2 and then put a monstrous roll on it. Which would then replace the Wicked Roll. We'd lose 1 life, but that extra 1/1 would be gone. So they would only get a total of 5 power and be just short of this. And we actually get the block pretty cleanly. Little do they know, we have no cards in hand. So this is by far a gamble for us. Go first. Nothing like having a Copperline Gorge on turn 1 and 2. I love it here. We'll keep this. We got early removal if we need it, which... This is kind of actually really better on the draw with this type of deck because, like, it's a sorcery speed spell. So next turn, we're not even going to want to play it if they play a threat because we're going to want to just ramp here. Yeah, because we ramp and then we hit this and then we remove something. Although a Thalia doesn't allow that to happen, I guess. But let's just go find our land, put it into play, pass. 1 damage is not something to threat over, taking off a turn to accelerate or mana base. We can also get another land here. Spell Vendor is actually our target of removal. Or a removal target, if you would. We can actually do 1 of 2 things. But we drew another land, so we don't need to. If we didn't draw another land, we could actually just play this creature. I never remember how to say her name, but Poet of Unity. And then stomp this out because it still works. However, I'm actually going to stomp this now. Then I'm gonna actually play this now because next turn I can activate it and flip it. Let's go grab a mountain. But next time I can flip it and make 2 3/3s. Creatures I control can make mana. Search library for a dino card. They get double strike. So I actually can flip this next turn, make 2 creatures. I didn't really want this to get put under a Brutal Cathar because it is a brick wall for most things. Ossification, I got some bad news. That's why we're frill backing. That sounds so whack. That's why we're frill backing. Okay, just close your ears. It's time for the adults to talk. I guess I should have played this. I thought about activating more than 1 mode, but I guess now I kind of am forced to do so. So we play this. It taps the mana the way we want it. We'll auto tap. We'll destroy target artifact enchantment. We'll gain 4 life. We'll blow up this ossification. We'll get more mana. Our creature will come back. By more mana, we'll get another mana source. Then we can still flip it. We can still have it do the fun stuff. Another reason that Frilled is so good. I thought about exiling their graveyard, man. I really should have. But they still don't have, like, good attacks here. That's why you see them put it there. We could flip this and play another one. is kind of a cool idea. But let's flip this now. Make 2 more dinos. We'll just play a ridgeline here because it enters tapped. We'll hold the line. Definitely trade this off if we want to. Then we have a couple of dinos to trade stuff off here. Dude, that's tough. That's a hard sell. I don't like that. Do I have an answer close to that? No. No, I do not. I do not have an answer indeed. So if you don't know how this works, this is no longer in play, so we go filter out again. And then we have to play a big boy here. All these things can tap for a mana. I think we have to be aggressive. I know they can get a free clean block, but if they trade anything else off, we're happy. Okay, they choose not to. I was just seeing kind of where the vibe was of our opponent, you know. They can activate the initiate at some point, but they need one more counter on it to blow up my enchantment, I think. Oh, it's just counters overall. Never mind. I forgot it doesn't have to be exactly on that guy. Let's see. We have an attack. No. They keep pumping. And we are going to fall short because, quite frankly, we flooded a lot. I don't think, with as much ramping as we did, probably should have been fine. We just needed to hit a bomb. I don't have any like main stage board wipe. They can just sit back on this forever. So I'm just gonna concede instead of hoping to God I top deck something well. But I think overall in this particular matchup with the start that we had, we just needed to find one payoff and we win the game. But sometimes you don't, and you just have to move on. Well, we'll try this. We have a payoff in hand. We have a nice middle connecting piece. Just let me play him. Want to cheat, please. Number 1. Number 2. Oh, there's hesitation. I assume it's removal. It's going to be an awful matchup for us, to be honest with you. Not feel necessarily that great. We'll try to ramp. Yep. Say no to that. Well, if they counter pretty much everything, then maybe we'll find an answer. Temporary lockdown, sure. Yeah. So, play ridgeline. We'll play this. If they don't do anything, we can flip it, but I doubt they don't do anything at all. Keep the green sources coming. We do have an answer for the lockdown. They know about it though. Combat. Attack. Sure.
I hope you're ready to lose. This is what you get for hurting my people.
Pay and pay. We will exile their graveyard and then we'll destroy this. Because a lot of times they are playing around putting spells back into their deck, so we don't want them to be able to put more answers back in. Ace. Okay.
I've already
Sure.
you won't become subdued.
Huh.
I'm never done for good. Let your blade do the talking.
They have the answer. I hope not. Nope. Hey, I'll quick study. That seems like good EV. Could have stacked them differently. I know it's like a very small thing, but should have stacked them where I went and got a land first. I mean, again, very small. They don't really have an answer. Could mill me and then copy it and mill it me again. They don't get milled for a ton here. Down to 24 cards. I mean, realistically, if their plan is just like doing J stuff, I could just bring this up. Just attack kind of all out here. I would assume Wandering Emperor is an option. Do have their Field of Ruin available. When will you decide to blow it up? Now? Okay. I was wanting to see if they'd let me get to attacks by mistake. Let's go grab a mountain. I have a couple basics left. Sure. Now they can also Emperor, but that's fine. We have to close out the game because we're getting close to losing to a Jace. To some extent, they can't always have everything, you know. We have an Atali to follow up, right? Yeah. So I play this. We have an Atali to follow up after this. So if they Sunfall, I'm just trying to go as wide as physically possible that the life gain from, like, say, Wandering Emperor isn't enough. Something like that. Down to 3, they're going to try to draw, it looks like. Oh, you put 3 lands in my graveyard. I appreciate that. We're at 19. We're close to dying in that respect. I mean, combat. All upstairs. Guess I should have brought this up just in case. Good game. I do think I understand it, and obviously Cavern is a concern, but I don't know if firing off the counterspell right away for the ramp spell necessarily makes like a lot of sense, because I don't know. Like, I get it. Like, fundamentally, I get why you counter the ramp spell. Like, if I don't have a land, usually rewarded. However, I did, and then they didn't have a counter spell later for like the other things that was fetching me lands that were also a threat. So then they had to use more cards on my threats instead of just answering them with a counter spell and just letting me ramp that one turn. So it's a little weird, but then I say that and then I rip a Cavern and I play it, then the counter spell is never good. So it's like, it is what it is. Maybe that's kind of their thought process there on that. So it is what we'll call it a day. All right, Dinos take 2, pretty much the same scenario as before. It actually backtracked to where I was originally a little bit with playing like potentially a turn 2 Hammer Skull, following it up with a Stomper. The problem was I had it a little messed up in where like a lot of times I was playing Stomper and I really had nothing to do with it. So the things that came in, so like I was playing these two kind of together to make sure I hit land drops. This front package of these 4 cards here were all in the deck, including like the payoff early being the Hammer Skull and some amount of these up here. Like obviously your top end kind of changes a lot based on the current meta. But here I was playing pretty much this package for the beginning aspect of the game. I didn't really know how to fit this in, so I just didn't do it at all. This has been like a super nice addition to the deck because it actually will turn this on a lot sooner than expected to make sure that we actually get to play this card and it not just sit there and do nothing while we die to mono red. However, a very nice card that got added, and I forgot that this card exists because it came from the little jumpstart, or not jumpstart, the side set that they did for whatever reason. I forget this one exists a lot, and it's a nice turn 4 play. A lot of times we picked off an ossification, even though we end up losing that game. I do think like a little bit of variance kind of snuck in there and took us out with all the mana that we found. But however, we found this very useful all over the place, all over the board. The life gain was important against red, the destroying artifacts. We even popped Skrelves with this just to make sure the creatures didn't have protection. We exiled graveyards when we thought it was important. Just kind of mana sink in of itself. This can be a 6 mana card and all modes can be relevant on it. So it's just very nice to have this guy kind of filling in that gap that I didn't personally have it first. And then we move on to kind of the top end here. where we have the Raptor to make sure we get mana. The Ward 2 is kind of inconvenient, especially when you play it on turn 3 and you're on the play, because then they're playing their third mana, and this is pretty much unremovable there, so you're guaranteed the mana. That can lead into some of your bigger stuff, whether that's a Carnosaur or an Atali, which is kind of a 4-3 split. The reason we're on 3 of these instead of like 4 and 3 is because the discard effect of this being more removal to stack on with the Chomp when needed. And then we have Dracosaur, and I think one of the games today is the prime reason and why you play this card. If you are going to play it, we get to play it early. A lot of times this is a 4 mana card to some extent, because you do have a mana dork or you have accelerated your mana. Can't really get it in on turn 3, of course, but I guess you could. There's always a world where you can have too many of these and rely on them, where you play one, you play a second one with the land, and on turn 3 you play a land, and then this is coming in, and your opponent has to have like go for the throat or some really hard removal for it, ossification. But then that's where little frill back comes in. Other than that, this is the take 2. We didn't have fight rigging in this deck. I don't know. Fight rigging at times felt broken and absolutely absurd. Other times didn't feel that great. Because you top deck it with an empty board and you're just getting board wipes, and then top deck that, and you're like, well, do I take a good thing just in case? And then you kind of have to back that off the fact that you'll draw like this guy and to go with it. But other than that, I kind of like the way that this felt more in comparison to the last Dino list we played. It just felt like I was doing more to interact with the board instead of just being big dumb Dino with hasty trample stuff. And sometimes that's all you need. So I hope you all enjoyed. I'm going to call it here, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.